Funkatopia WTF.
Up.
These mugs available too on the Funkatopia store, funkatopia.com/shop. You can pick those up. Free shipping too. I am your host. I don't know why I did a plug right at the top of the show. Whatever. I am your host, Mr. Christopher. This is my illustrious co-host, Jeff Page. Man, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. No, I'm just getting my fronts out.
I just want to let you talk. Tonight we have a very, very fun show. Tonight we got 3 special guests that are going to be joining us. We've already got 2 of them in the green room. Scott McCullough, who was a director and camera operator during that whole Diamonds and Pearls period. Most of the videos that you saw during that period were recorded and directed by this man, Scott McCullough. We had him on the show a few weeks ago, but we kind of wanted to do a little bit of a Diamonds and Pearls pre-celebration. And so he's in the green room, and now Tony's in the green room. Robia Scott, she is also here. You may not know the name, but you definitely know her as Pearl of Diamond and Pearl. She was actually in most of the videos, did lots of performing with Prince during this period of time. And of course, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Tony Mosley, Tony M in the house from NPG.
NPG.
We are so excited to have all 3 of them and all 3 of them in the green room. And I wanted to make sure that we kind of talk this through. We said this during the pre-show. I think most of you were already here, but we'll say it again for the sake of recording. This is just going to be a fun, relaxing night where we're going to be celebrating the release of Diamonds and Pearls, talking about our favorite music, favorite songs from the album, stories that come with all those songs. And of course, we got so much background on a lot of those tracks as well. But these 3 people were there during the creation process. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So I will welcome them in one by one.
Wait, I got a good green room story. Green room story. It happened just a little bit earlier. I got to share it right now. So I popped into the green room, and Scott was in there, and Robia was in there, and I saw them, and I'm like, hey, and my mic's off, so I'm like waving, and Scott's signing like, hey, I can't hear you, but what's up? And Robia's looking like, who the heck is that? I'm like thinking she probably thinks we got hacked or something. So I pulled out my little bottle of vodka, and she's going, what is wrong with that guy? It's just that face. It was priceless. Thank you for giving us that.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're just hanging out, and one of the things that we had mentioned earlier, I'd mentioned on the post that I had done on Facebook, is that Scott McCullough is the creator of this amazing vodka, Rosa Vodka. You can find more information about it at rosavodka.com. And we're going to be doing taste tests this evening. So it's just going to go off the rails. Not relatively quick, but it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have just a good time, just hanging out and talking all kinds of Diamonds and Pearls stories and whatnot. So who do we bring on first? Your call, Jeff.
Well, I say we bring Scott on first.
All right. Robia is like, really? Are you serious? Okay. All right. Well, as I mentioned before, Scott McCullough has a laundry list. We're not going to go over everybody's resume until everybody's in here, because that would just take too long. So, and I want everybody to kind of come in. But Scott, again, he was the camera operator and director of so many of the amazing videos that you all know and love from the Diamonds and Pearls. I mean, he's had his hands on Sexy MF, the Max, Get Off, the Violent, the Organ Grinder version, also the House Style, Clock and the Jizz, Money Don't Matter Tonight, Willing and Able, the Continental. I mean, he has hands over so many videos in this whole lineup. And again, he was on the show again 3-4 weeks ago, I think. And welcome back once again. Scott McCullough is in the house.
Hey, how are you?
What's up? To Scott.
Good to see you all again.
I know. Again.
No, you guys are fun, man. This is great. It's exciting to always talk to you, and you're fun. It's always loose and fun. So don't try to preface that this show is any different. It's always fun.
Yeah, no, you just like that. You guys got to understand. I'm bringing the guys in first because I'm saving the best for last, and I feel like, so just deal with it.
Well, I'm excited to see Tony. I haven't seen I've talked to Tony a couple times on the phone, but I have not seen Tony in, one-on-one reaction for a long time. So I'm excited for this.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. So that means
Reunion.
that means we bring him in last. That's what that means. And it's going to be more fun as more of this kind of gets consumed, but what it's going to be. So we're going to talk about this Rosa vodka because we need to figure out exactly how you got involved in this. That's really, really cool. It's just, it's because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just, it's fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I try to encapsulate this as well as I can. My wife is from Bulgaria. And, one of the biggest exports is roses. And we felt that, we could find a niche for rose infused vodka and in America. So during COVID, when things have been a little weird, we tried to say, okay, how do we diversify? So we did a lot of research. We did a lot of testing and finding out. We found what we call the magic sauce and went to market. And when COVID's closed everything down, all we had to really do is competitions and liquor stores. So we were kind of at a standstill to begin with, but now things are opening up and we're starting to get more into other things. We're rebranding into something a little different, where we got metal in the back of the thing and a new logo, and just really enhancing it, making it masculine and feminine at the same time. But it's rose is underrepresented here, and we thought that we have a good match. So we've beaten out most major brands, head-to-head competitions, and we've won some medals. So we're excited about this.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
got Susan says Bulgarian rose oil is the best. I was like, that is so specific.
So we're fully plant-based right here. So I don't feel bad about
that's awesome.
this.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that, but before we do, let's go ahead and bring on the lovely, beautifully talented and beautiful. I shouldn't have added Lee on the end of that, but beautiful and talented Robia Scott into the mix. Pearl.
I don't know.
I'm always in second position. Diamond and Pearl, Scott and Robia. When am I first? Back of the album cover, smoke a cigarette to do my set. Yeah. When am I first? When am I first, people? Not even on the funk show am I first. I mean,
you were on the front. You were on the front. You were on the front.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pearl Show.
Right.
Finally. It only took 30 years.
And I am pronouncing your name correctly, Robia, correct?
You are Robia, like Maria Robia.
Perfect. I was concerned that I wasn't. I thought I heard it correctly, but yes, I am. I want to hear your story. I cannot wait to hear the story of how you kind of got into this. And I know some of the story, but there's a lot of people here who have not heard it. Shout out to Damon Dixon. I see Damon Dixon in the chat room. What's got?
Hey.
So lots of people that would be popping in and out, and I think I saw Shelby J in here earlier, but I think she's in here as well. So we got lots of people that are tuning in for this Diamonds and Pearls show, but we absolutely positively cannot continue with the show until we bring in the man himself, the one, the only, Tony Mosley in the house.
What's good? What's good? Robia, look at you.
I can't believe you. I haven't seen you. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
You still look good.
So do you. Scott,
Hey, Tony.
Scott,
Hey.
where's my bottle, man?
It's on its way. It's on its way. You direct message me, you'll come. Same thing with Robia.
Robia, hit him up. Let's go.
Yep.
We got this out. Everyone's partying but us.
Well, I got my
I'm
bubble
started
keg.
without you. There you go.
I got my bubble keg. I drink smarter, not harder. So I just make big
H2O, baby. I'll just pretend it's rose.
Okay.
Rose infused.
Rose infused. So Robia, do you have some? Do you have the vodka or no?
No, I have water.
No, I sent it to the guys after I did the show. I said, "Thank you. Here's some libations." And this invite came after the fact, and I didn't know who was going to be on. So for sure, you're on.
That was Jeff's fault.
Oh, there you go.
Totally. Dang, Jeff, wait a minute, Jeff. Did you hear that? Beep,
I
beep,
did.
beep. Yeah, that was the bus, man. He just threw you under it, dog. It was
did.
backing up.
My hips out. Got hit and everything.
No, but he's right. We this was kind of, we wanted to throw together as many people as we possibly could for that were involved in the creation of Diamonds and Pearls, because it's such a phenomenal album. And I guess this is probably the best place to start, because some people are familiar with each one of you and a lot of people are not. So I guess we will start with, let's start with Robia, since
Yes.
Finally, I had to beg for it, but finally. What do you want to know?
I saw myself. So Robia, kind of tell us a little bit about the story about how you kind of got involved with Prince and how you became Pearl and that process. Because, and I know you've told the story before, but there's a lot of people who have not heard it, and I would love.
So I was a professional dancer at the time. When I was a young girl, I saw the movie Flashdance. Remember Flashdance? Little throwback. Yeah, Flashdance. Got the big old perm, did the whole thing, went professional. And some years later was auditioning for a bazillion music videos, because that was the time that MTV was on the rise, and got a call one day to go audition for Prince. So I went with many other dancers. Prince saw the tape. I heard that he, was kind of highlighted. He kind of liked me and Lori. He was also looking for identical twins. And from what I heard, he couldn't find actual identical twins that he liked. So he wanted me and Lori to be the twins. They wanted us to come in for the twin part, and we actually sort of tried to sabotage it, because we thought all the dancers would get all this footage and coverage in the videos, and then they would just like pan to a set of twins, drinking coffee, and then back to all the dancers. So we tried to sabotage it, but it didn't happen. We got hired, and that was it. We were supposed to just do the Cream video, and we were there and started rehearsing, and it was the three of us, and there was instant chemistry. And I think he just sort of had the epiphany at that moment that he would name one of us Diamond, one of us Pearl. And it just turned into 2 videos and 3 videos and the album cover and the world tour, and almost 2 years of being able to be alongside Prince. Absolute life-changing experience.
Now, how many videos did you end up doing?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know the count. I mean, Cream, Get Off, the House Style. We were in Sexy MF, Strollin'. What else?
Don't forget the ones you probably
Diamonds and Pearls.
Ended up in the vault.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what?
Right.
All the
ones we filmed all the time, and I'm sure you have plenty of videos in the vault, Robia, that you've never even seen the light of day.
I have no idea what might be in there.
Absolutely.
I have seen some, and I can't talk about it. Sorry.
Am I in it?
Yeah.
Really?
There's actually some scenes where we did something in the pre-vault. Remember that, where all the awards were, and we were just trying to come up with something really cool, and we shut off all the lights, and we had just some special lights in there. And I remember, I never knew what it was for, and it wasn't the footage I saw. It wasn't sunk up, so I wouldn't know what the song was. But yeah, I was like, I think I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, a lot of the stuff I sort of blacked out on. I mean, it's like so much stuff. And like this upcoming Glam Slam show. I'm like, I saw a rough cut a long time ago, and I'm like, all the stuff that this whole show was just in this weird other dimension. Tony, I bet you know. It's like, oh my God.
Yes, sir.
Got like a laundry list library of songs and music that's in that vault. I mean, you've probably got an album's worth, at least a few albums worth of things that you've done that are in there, I'd imagine. Not Prince stuff, but like stuff that you've maybe done solo wise.
Was that for me? I'm sorry.
That was for you. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah. Well, I gotta let me tell you, when they were starting to preface the album, and I was starting to hear certain cuts from Andrea Swinson as we were doing interviews, I was just shocked at the sheer volume and what they actually put into this box set. Some things I have not heard since we recorded them. So yeah, I'm sure there's a ton more that I haven't heard that are sitting, on those 2-inch reels somewhere ready to go.
I bet. It cracks me up, Robia, all the video stuff that you're hearing about that's hidden. you've been out there, though people may not even realize your acting career and how much work you've done.
Big time actress. Big time
Big
actress.
time, exactly. And I will say, because this is a long time ago, you were Jason Priestley's girlfriend
I
in Beverly
was.
Hills.
That was my first acting job after Prince.
See?
So after I got off tour, I retired as a dancer. I think I was like 21 or 22. I retired because I felt like I'd already done a lot. Plus, after Prince, I thought, really, there's nowhere else to go. I mean, that's the pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
So switched over into acting and going on auditions. And Beverly Hills 90210 was my first audition that I got, the one I got, and did a couple episodes of that. And then a lot of people might remember me from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So that was also a big one that I did for quite a bit. Yeah.
And I saw Janet Jackson mentioned in the chat room. I don't know
The Janet Jackson?
the Janet Jackson.
Just kidding. Janet.
Send her the link.
Miss Jackson.
Yeah, you have a Debbie Gibson story. Do you not have a Debbie Gibson story?
I do have a Debbie Gibson story. That was my first professional job at the age of 16. That was my first music video. Debbie Gibson, Shake Your Love. Yes, it was the 80s. Yes, I've got the perm. Yes, I've got like the suspenders on and the whole shebang. And Paula Abdul choreographed that. And that was one of her first jobs, I think, after being a Laker girl and starting to get into choreography before she became, a huge star and a singer. So yeah, that was the genesis for me of music videos, and just kept going after that.
I also have a Debbie Gibson story.
Oh,
She was starting out in she had her I don't think her album had officially come out yet, but she came to this club called Electric Playground in Hamilton Square, New Jersey, where I was a bouncer at the time. They didn't really require much of bouncers. But I was standing there and I was working the night, and she came and she performed with some dancers. And then after the show, nobody knew who she was really. And after the show, she asked me to dance. I danced with her. She gave me her phone number, and I threw it away because she was too young. And she wasn't like,
Well, that is a good moral story.
2 or 3 years younger than me. And I was just like, no, I don't think so. And then I was like, well, that's
You
my
heartbreaker.
that's one of my biggest mistakes.
Oh my gosh.
But that's okay. It's all right. It's a great story.
Maybe she'll call you now that you've rekindled that story.
I'm sure.
Wait, I have a quick question actually for Scott. Because I don't even really recall, like you were saying, Tony, we were just always filming stuff. I think you guys even more than us. And, I don't even recall things being that orchestrated. Like obviously a music video like Cream was very orchestrated. A music video like Get Off was very orchestrated. But when we did the house version, like, did we all even know like, hey, we're going to shoot this music video? Or did it just like happen like this? All I remember is like chiffon, like the usual, like chiffon hanging from some room.
Yeah.
And then like Lori and I are thrown in with outfits and the track starts, and then we're just like go-go dancing and just improvising, and you're probably just, doing your thing. Like tell me a little bit about that filming of that, because I honestly don't really remember how it all came to pass.
I was hoping you would tell me. No,
and then Tony, you guys were in a whole different section. Like we didn't even really film, I think, with you guys. Like you and Rosie and the band, you guys kind of did your thing, and then Lori and I did our thing. So how did that come together, Scott?
Well, Rob was a producer of that, and we were doing transfer, I think, for Violet. We were transferring the film. He said, "Okay, so we're gonna do house style tonight," and like literally like in 2-3 hours. And I'm like, "Okay, I don't even know what it sounds like." And so we go jet out there, and I show up in that. I think it was the dance studio that we shot house style in, and a blue screen was set up.
Okay.
Like the entire studio was blue screen. I'm like, well, this isn't what I was thinking, but we'll go with it. Then who's the director? Randy St. Nicholas was there. She wanted to put silver gold ball painted heads into the blue screen room. And I said, well, it's my duty to tell you as a DP, all the things that are reflected, that you see reflected, will also be like a hole that you punch through, because it's going to reflect the blue, and whatever you're going to put in the background, it's not going to look great. So we did a 180. We put black up on the entire studio. And at this point, all of a sudden, set pieces started coming in, the bed frames, the box springs that were set up on end. And I don't recall even having a conversation with Randy about how the camera was going to work. I just said, I need as much room as possible. Let's put it on a dolly so I can pick any place I want and actually move with whatever's going to happen, because that was the thing. We never knew what was going to happen. So I had to be flexible. And so I set up the dolly, and then we just sort of went through it. And I think we just sort of grew the shots as they went. Tony, is that what you recall?
I just recall constant mayhem and work, right? So we rehearsed all day. And then we had, we get a call. Well, we're going to shoot a video. So head up to wardrobe, and we're going to shoot a video. It could be Violet the Organ Grinder. It could have been Gangster Glam. It could have been Strolling. It could have been whatever. Damon, you go to Lake Calhoun or wherever where Lori and Robia are, and you guys shoot, right? Or it just, there was no rhyme or reason. It was just constant work. It was constant output. And
I remember that.
You're just
remember
on,
that?
You're just on call.
You're just on
call. Oh my God.
And like
The
10 in the
whole-
morning, you got to get on a plane at noon. And then
Right.
you're like shooting a video at 3.
Absolutely.
You were on call.
You brought the flashback to the Lake Calhoun, or was it Lake Harriet band shell?
Yeah.
Remember? And it was
That's
for
it.
Strolling. Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah. So go
And
ahead.
I'm
Tony.
like-
What happened?
Well, for me, I just remember showing up. Well, one in particular was Gangster Glam, and I got a call to head to Prince's house. And when I show up, he's in a mankini with suspenders on. Dog, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. That's where I draw the line, partner. I'm not.
Did he have one for you?
Yeah, he had something, but you know me, Robia, you know I wasn't having it. You know me. Yeah.
Oh, and Tony, remember when he
style one piece, basically?
Yeah. Yep. I went with the Popeye one set. The one piece.
Oh, I remember him walking out, and I turned to my assistant cameraman. I said, only he could pull that off.
Oh my God.
Literally, like nobody else could wear that.
I'll be in the pool. So I'm in a one piece in the one piece with a cane. And I said, I'm gonna hop in the pool. He said, that's cool, go ahead. And I look over and he's doing push-ups in front of me with the mankini on. I'm like, dog, what we doing?
He was so comfortable. And then he stood up on the car too, out of the blue. He just walks on the roof of his car.
Yeah.
And of course he's screaming as loud as I've ever heard anyone scream in his Prince voice, because he had nothing else to say. And he was like on top of the roof of his car. I know it's going to be dented, but I'm like, once he got off there, you two were laughing so hard.
Yeah, we were busting up, man.
High heels are going to leave a dent.
Well, he was barefoot. He was just the mankini. That's all I recall.
I've never seen him barefoot. That's crazy.
And I just remember it just being, as Robia and Scott were saying, it was just constant output, right? And you didn't know what you were shooting next, and then all of a sudden there was a party. Oh, we're going to concert. We called that mandatory fun, didn't we?
We just did the show. Like, we're just in Japan. We just did the whole show. Now we've got a mandatory fun club show.
That's right. That club show that we won't hit the stage. Well, we're there at 11 or noon or midnight, maybe 1, and then we don't hit the stage till 3 or 4, and then there's another 2.5 hour, 3 hour concert.
Yeah.
Till the sun comes up.
Do you remember that time though, Tony? Do you remember that one time where after we did a show like that, he brought us all single file into the green room and handed us all a wad of cash?
There was always the brown bag tour. That was the beautiful thing about it. That was the beautiful thing about it.
Wait a second.
It was the brown bag tour. Listen, they took the door or the bar, whatever it was, vice versa, but it was always you got a rubber band. It was the rubber band show, man. You got that wad of cash.
And then back to the hotel.
And secretly, I would bring that wad of cash always to sound check, because the crew were such suckers. And I roll out that little piece of carpet and start shaking them dice, and it was just like the Pied Piper. They'd come and they have to come roll them bones, and we'd be taking that money. Lickety split. Bam. Hundreds. They were just breaking them off.
Oh, the girls didn't do that.
Huh?
Yeah, we didn't.
The camera crew didn't do that.
No.
You guys had all the fun.
I bought some clothes. I bought some makeup. I didn't gamble my winnings away.
Oh, I didn't give them away either, Robia. I was collecting.
You were collecting?
I was collecting.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
She's funny.
I'm still stuck on Mankini.
I mean,
Oh.
do we have footage of that? Like, is that in a video?
Yeah, that's in Gangster Glam. Yeah.
Gangster Glam, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Pop that on
Yeah.
screen, somebody. I need to see. I need to see what's going on.
Yeah,
I think
love that.
the Wizard
seen that
of
video?
Oz.
Yeah,
That was
Whoever
a
wants to see it. I'll look it up. But if someone
that
has
was fun. Yeah. Remember the first day in Prince's office where we're just kind of rolling through the entire song, and it's like, you know, just it's everyone in that apartment. I would call it an apartment, but this was office. But there's, you know, king size bed, of course, furniture, direct. Yeah, it's like you can't really art direct it any better than this. So let's just shoot. And it was just we just rolled that day. We just did this take, that take, this take, and it was, you know, play day at Paisley. It was great.
Absolutely.
and I'm gonna share it, but I don't know that I can't do the, if I do the audio, then what's gonna end up happening?
So we got it. There it is.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the Gangsta Glam video, and yeah, there's like we've got a couple outfits that were kind of seen put together, but yeah, there's a lot of interesting wardrobe choices going on here.
Jason's going, no. Gotta show it.
Show it. Oh, we got to get to the Mankini part. So
Yeah,
to the good.
yeah, let's
I
see.
didn't have too much clothes on in this one.
No, it's
there it is.
There it is. We got to go back in case you missed it.
That's not the one. That's not the one. Oh my God.
David's in here too. David's in the chat room. Oh my God.
Look, the cash is out.
Unreal to me. It's just, I love it. I'm wondering if I can like put it on like a lower volume and not get hit. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think towards the beginning there might be some more Mankini.
That's all I needed to see. I remember that.
I'm
That's all I
good.
needed.
I'm
Does-
good.
Beginning. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because there's actually a lot going on here. Yeah, I think if we keep this volume and we talk over it, we should be okay. There's like a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot
I can't
going on.
remember if we shot this after the MTV Awards show would get off in the butt
No,
out.
it was before. This was in July, I think.
Okay, so he was he was starting to preface a lot of that, boy.
Oh,
There it is. There you go.
What?
I walked in, that's what I saw. It's like it ain't happening, partner.
with the key to the kingdom.
You want a screen cap? No. Screen cap if you want a
Holy
screen cap.
moly. Okay. Oh my gosh.
All right, enough of that.
That is crazy.
I could just see that. No.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking, how do I shoot this? You know,
Exactly.
there's a balance, you know, how without
Yeah.
going to the weird, strange part, or how do I keep it cool? And so, you know, the weird thing is like next day he like had that whole video almost cut. I mean, I'm like, you show the, come here, goes up, he plays it. And I'm like, when did you have time to cut this thing? Because
The
you know,
man didn't sleep. He was always
No.
doing something.
He
no,
did not sleep.
that's true.
Constant motion, constant creativity.
I'm going to go ahead and participate in the Rosa vodka. For those who are just joining us, this vodka right here is from Scott McCullough. And
Yes,
I don't know what the full story is, but it's Rosa vodka.
Sorry, guys.
I got some vodka.
Yeah, this is like we're
Yeah.
doing Murphy
So
skit.
while I'm breaking this open, cracking the seal on this, just the story of not knowing what to expect and what's going on, that true to most of the stories we hear,
Oh,
just confirms the skill level and the abilities that you guys had. You know what I mean? It's not just about, oh, this was we didn't know what was happening, but you have to have a certain level of ability in order to handle that and to still pull it off and to do such a great job. So
Well, and I gotta hand it to Tony, because one of my first days there, I mean, I've worked on Sign of the Times. I also worked on Graffiti Bridge. I was working casting, and I'm not sure if I met you guys there. I'm not sure who I met there because I was dealing with all the extras.
Yep.
But the first day, we were like doing the sound check for Diamonds and Pearls. That was like my first day, and Tony was so cool. He just sort of took me in his arms, and said, "Okay, let's just have some fun with this." And I was like, there's a bit of intimidation gone, even though I have worked with Prince. It's like, I think I told you guys when we were on the call. It's like that day, my light meter didn't work, the Naga didn't work, which records the sound. I had one guy to help me, and I think it was the AC. I think I loaded my own camera. I'm like up to here in stress, not knowing what's going on. But then I just said, okay, I'll just calm down. And Tony was so cool, and the guys are so cool. We just sort of, like we are right now, let's just have fun with this. And it was just, I haven't seen that footage either of the entire, there's bits and pieces for press, but
Right.
yeah,
the whole show was shot in sort of a loose, fun way. And I would just love to see that.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
But thank you, Tony. Thank you for being so cool. And
Oh,
and
my
just sort
man.
of, appreciate it.
I know the pressure. I mean, he put us through it, especially. I mean, we just kind of knew when you walked in the door, he's gonna dump a bunch on your plate. He's gonna see how you react to it, right? Either
Yeah.
you sink or swim. And that's what it is. Either you're going home as an engineer or a dancer or whatever. And that was his way to just kind of see if you were ready for it. Rabia, Lori, they came with the heat. Scott, you came with the heat, and for us, seeing people come into the situation, we knew already just from dealing with Purple Rain and in the Madhouse stuff. We kind of knew what people were walking into, and you kind of walk in just a deer in the headlights, man. And just to try to ease that and let a person get into their own mind frame, right, in their mindset. He brought you here for a reason. Let's just focus. Don't worry about him. Just focus on the work at hand. Do your thing, and everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, Scott, I can't even imagine when you're recording some of this, especially when some of it's like Prince walking around a mankini, how difficult that's got to be to kind of shoot, because you're like, do I shoot this like? Are you thinking like, oh, this is kind of a weird question. I don't know how else to phrase it. Are you thinking like a woman and like this is what they would want to see, or how are you trying to put it together? I mean, is he? It's
a great question, because I don't know how to fully answer that, because when you obviously are there to capture a situation or event, and you need to do it as honestly as possible. Like when you direct, you want to capture what's coming at you. I never got a treatment of what he wanted to do. I don't think he really even knew. It just sort of kind of rolled the dice. Let's see what happens. On the mankini, or even like when he rolls up in old school rollerblades and his bowler hat. I'm like, my first thought was like, how do I shoot this without cheese factor? And how do I make it blend with whatever is going to happen that I don't know what's going to happen? And just try to be cool with it and just roll with it and give it as much fun and life as I can with whatever time I don't know I have. And that's kind of how you kind of flew with this, like a refined documentarian, but you have to light it well. You have to understand the situation and encourage creativity. So that's what I wanted to do, is say, what do I do to just open myself up and not close myself down? Even though I wasn't getting any sort of hint of what's happening, I was like, okay, well, this could be anything. So just let it go. Let go of that stress. And that's kind of how I think he related to what I was doing. And like the Violet was just sort of, I think I spoke, it was just Randy St. Nicholas had set up some really great scenes, and it was beautiful. I mean, why would you ever adjust any of this? I mean, it's just beautiful, and everything worked. Yeah. And sometimes you just have to know when to stop changing things, or because you're there to change something, you shouldn't.
Yep.
So it's part of that discipline, I think, you have. It's just let's just go with this, right?
Trust your own judgment.
Scott, there was a question. Were you shooting on 400 foot or 1,000 foot rolls of film?
On 16, well, on 16 was, we only had 400-foot mags because we're in Minnesota, so we didn't have like many choices for camera rental houses. So 400-foot mags for 16, which is about 10 minutes, 11 minutes.
Yep.
And then the 35 millimeter, we had 400-foot mags. I did a couple of 1,000-foot mags when we had them. It actually balanced the other camera out better. I think in London when we shot on stage in Earl's Court, I had 1,000-foot mags. I'm not sure. Again, blacked out. But yeah, that's mostly 400-foot mags because the weight was, an issue.
I don't even know what the difference is between these two things that you're referring to.
Oh, magazines. So when we used to shoot film was, a physical piece of plastic that rolled in the camera. You've probably seen the magazines for the film cameras. The magazines are what
Yep.
hold the film. And they're
Yep.
like the big things on top of the camera. So those are separate from the camera. So you can take those away, load that up with fresh film, and then put a new one on. They take that away to the laboratory. So that's a magazine. Sometimes like the 1,000-foot mags, those can weigh up to 220 pounds. You throw that onto another camera that's 30 pounds, you're talking a bit of weight because, rolled plastic very tight. It's a physical thing. Yeah.
As I saw some people were asking your background and some of the things that you've worked on, and I can actually share this screen here. That we kind of covered this on when you were on the show before, but you've had your hands on Sexy MF, the Max, Get Off with Violet the Organ Grinder, the house style version, Get Off, Clock and the Jizz, live.
I know that. Yeah.
No matter, Willing and Able, the Continental, Strolling, Call the Law, Get Off, Gangsta Glam, Daddy Pop, Lovin' Early in the Morning with Carmen Electra, Eric Leeds, documentaries, My Name is Prince. I mean, there's so much stuff here. And of course, the one highlight, obviously, there is towards the bottom, about 3/4 of the way down, the Live at Glam Slam concert film, which is going to be on this, and it's gonna, this unbelievable.
Straight fire. Straight fire.
Mm.
It's
And for those
fire.
at the celebration 2 years ago, they actually played this with the live band with NPG playing, which was just ridiculous.
Phenomenal.
And Tony, you pulled me to the side after that was over, and you said, "Do we take this on the road or not?" And I said, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
Is there any hope that would ever happen to be able to? Because obviously Prince can't do concerts anymore, but to be able to have it done that way, where everything is happening as it was recorded there, and to have a live band instrumentation playing in sync with the video. Was just the closest thing that you were going to get, and it was just so phenomenally done.
Thank you. I got to give shouts out to Kirk Johnson, who handled a lot of the setting up of the band, making sure everybody had what they needed, the cues in our ears. Everybody kind of knew what was coming up next, and then Damon, Kirk, and myself working out the choreography, trying to figure out, okay, what can we realistically do, and at 60 something, what can we really do, right? I mean, you can't jump back in time that far. My knees ain't handling it no more. But I remember talking to my wife as soon as we came off, but she had not seen the show. She didn't watch any of the rehearsals or anything. She wanted to see the show live when it happened, and she just came over. She said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys were in step on the choreography that you did back then. You and Prince, I mean, just playing off each other. It was like the show." So that was probably the closest thing that we got to.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so well done. I mean, I was just like, what? And the fact that even how you, like you said, time has said, let's not try to do some of these jumps and some of these things, but just what you did do around it and just the way you played off of it, it was fire. It was all the way.
Thank you.
And I just can't believe you guys haven't taken it on the road yet, because we would definitely have our go to your show parties.
I remember I wanted to just kind of touch on some of the Diamonds and Pearls, the tour, and I remember just being out with all these fantastic dancers and choreographers. I mean, you remember Robia, Sean Cheeseman, and Tina Landon, helping out with a lot of the choreography. And I just remember the monotony of show after show after show, right? So Prince would change up the arrangements on song because everybody knows. I mean, just don't get a certain arrangement stuck in your head because he will change it in a heartbeat. Um, but us as dancers had to find some solace. And I remember, I think you and I getting in trouble just because we joked around on stage when we were playing around with each other. I mean, he was Tony, what was that with Maite, or what was that with Rabia? What was that? You know what I mean? Because we just you had to do something to break up the monotony. So we would do something awkward or stupid, and then it would caught on camera, and he'd bring us up to the room. Absolutely.
Did he ever shoot you that look?
Not during the show. I never got anything during the show. It was always afterwards. It was, hey, Tony, can you come on up for a minute?
Oh, I got the look. I don't know if you remember this, but Daddy Pop, we were doing, it was like between his wardrobe changes, and it's like this, I don't know, it's this whole stage, and it's full crew, and it took him a bit to get changed. And I'm like, well, this is kind of wasting a bit of time. I think I can shoot some of the band without Prince, just thinking efficiency. I go to the producer, say, do you mind? I don't know when he's going to be back, but I think, I know someone's paying for this and it's not me, but I think we could do a run through without Prince. And he said, yeah, I think that would be okay. And of course, me thinking the best way to get this word across to everyone in the room is to go to Prince's microphone. Dumb idea. So I go to Prince's microphone. So anyways, while we wait for Prince, we could do a rehearsal so that we do, I can shoot some stuff. And I hear this sort of, I turn around, Prince goes, get off my mic. And all you guys are standing next to him, laughing your asses off. And I'm like, not my time. Not my time to shine.
And man, he was such a jokester, man. He would know how to get you. And of course, he's out by the board. Yeah, he's out by the board playing around, and he'll roast you. And as soon as he sees you going to your mic, he mutes your mic. So I was always quick with the comebacks. So he'd get me on something, and I knew my mic was going to be muted. So I would just walk to his mic, and his mic would hit me in the chest. And all I had to do was stand there like, what? This little mic standing in my chest. What? Tony, get away from my mic. Okay, man, I'm going to walk away.
Good. It happened to you too. I thought I was the only one.
Oh, no, man. He was he was a prankster. He always had something to say. And I think some of the things that we probably missed the most was the laughter, right? I mean, his gut busting laugh, and he liked to prank. He just loved being around. We were his family, essentially, right? We were all family, and that's why we were there 24/7. Even though we wanted to go see our own families, we were his family, and it was a constant curation of content, man. It was nonstop.
I like how you mentioned Tony M. You mentioned getting the cues in the ears and all the different things, and it just made me think that I do want to say all of you guys have the best teams because it's your people around you that make you look great. So big ups to everybody on everybody's team.
No doubt. Takumi, Brian Mengi, everybody, the Paisley staff. I mean, everybody, they were on point.
Do you reach out? Do you guys ever reach out to them for other projects?
If we have something going on at Paisley, I mean, they're pretty much Paisley employees, so we couldn't take them out on the road or anything like that with us for separate gigs. But if I would think, with the estate and hopefully working through setting up something for a Diamonds and Pearls type of reunion tour of some sort, that we would bring out individuals from the crew. But again, we'll see.
Awesome.
I see some people asking whether or not any of you are going to be attending the Diamonds and Pearls release party on the 27th at Paisley Park. A lot of quiet here.
Well, yeah, I think so. I was told they wanted us there. So who's attending? I have no idea. It's just, I know there's a lot of things going on at the estate. A lot of things are trying to get in order. I just show up where they They ask if I can, be there. I'll be there. At least I have a flight and a car, so I'll be in Minneapolis for the release.
Yeah, I have no idea yet if I can.
You should. I mean, because just the fact that your hands are on, and this is really not known quite a bit, but your hand is on like a lot of that Super Deluxe.
Yeah, that was one of those things where it's helping the state kind of go through the vault, and I ran that footage came up on the flatbed, the old school film, so you can see what's on the film, and I was like, oh, I remember this, and I turned, whoever was there, I said, you guys need to put this out. I know it was a complete show, and that stage is like 20 feet by 20 feet, and at times probably maybe 20 people were on it. The steels, the dancers, the band, the horn section, and we had one take, and it was one night, and there was no overdubs, there was no retakes. We shot it, that was it, and the footage went into the vault. I mean, I don't think it was even transferred at that time.
Wow.
So it's yeah, I really should go there. I'm gonna check it away. Hey,
I just turned off the camera.
yeah.
The vodka is fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't think I have ever had a smoother vodka because is it just me, Jeff?
No, I was thinking the same thing. It's so smooth.
It's like there's not like that bitter or like that kind of, because I'm not a big drinker. I'm a lightweight. I'll just go ahead and just say it right out of the gate.
Yes.
But it is so smooth. It's not bitter. It doesn't burn. I really, really, really like this vodka. This is
awesome. Thank you.
It's like drinking rose petals.
Well, it does. I appreciate you saying that, because it's quite a task to look at that mountain of competition. And I said, look, my wife and I are doing this, so we're like, look, it's a daunting task to try to say, look, we can compete. So let's try this, but let's move slowly into that night, because it's not an easy thing to do. So I appreciate, that makes me feel so great that you like it, just trying it the way it is. That's how you should try it. So if it works like that, it'll work in a martini, it'll work with it's been a lot of work, and it still is.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
You're gonna know. You're gonna.
Rabia, I'm just saying, we wouldn't know.
It may be too smooth.
It's on its way. Don't you fret.
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you.
This is the warning.
Tony, tell me something I don't know, like about the whole experience, because I only saw our little girl side. Like, tell me something about the tour, or what was it like? Were you told like not to really like mess with the girls? Like, I kind of heard like you guys were told like to kind of keep your distance from us. Is that accurate? Like, give me some dirt. Give me some scoop.
Now there's no side eye that's going to happen. You're good.
No, I mean, I don't know that it was so much, stay away from the girls or anything like that. It was, I think we were just respectful of, just not knowing who was what and what situation that was.
There's a lot of dynamics.
There was a lot of stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
There was certain people showing up in outfits that someone else was. I mean, it was like crazy town. So better safe than sorry, and not to have to be pulled aside and asked anything. So, again, it was just about being respectful. You guys were little sisters to us, and that's how we looked at it, right? You guys were family, and we chose to protect you like that.
Nice. Yeah, there were a lot of, like, all of a sudden girls would just show up on the scene. Like, we were doing like the Diamonds and Pearls video, and then there was like this dancer girl in like white ballerina outfit, like dancing through. We're like, who the heck is this girl? Like, what's her story? How did she get here on the Diamonds and Pearls video when Diamond and Pearl are already here? Like, she danced in and then she danced out. Never saw her again. So like,
maybe the dance wasn't that great, so he just said we won't pull the trigger on that one again.
She was the ampersand.
Like, we just never were like knew what was going to happen. Like, you show up on the set and you don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like, like there'd be new players players added. You're like, who are these players? And then like it was just
Absolutely.
wild.
It
just
was wild. It was constant. I think I mentioned earlier, just it was mayhem, man. It was just you didn't know what you were going to get. You didn't know who was who. And as you know, you mentioned Rabia about the dirt. It was just easier for us to just like it's the crew. It's the that it's family, and
We
let's
were
treat
all
it that
good
way.
though. Like, I mean, we didn't hang out too much. Like, you guys were kind of doing your guy thing, and the girls were together.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we had some good vibes, right?
Yeah,
We
oh,
did.
absolutely. We had a blast on stage. I mean, that's where we came together and just made it happen, right? It
Yeah.
was just, it was night after night, and everybody put in their work. But I think when the night was over, I was ready to head back to my room and
Yeah.
watch CNN. I mean, you were wore out. You were tired.
Oh yeah, we didn't go out or
Yeah.
do
We didn't
any of
go out
that.
and party
We
and
were
none of that.
working so many hours, then we
Yeah.
were just off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
we did some fun things. Like we did some photo shoots and things, Tony. Like remember we did like the clothing lines and we
Oh
did
yeah, blog. What was his name? The guy from London. Yeah, I saw a couple of those photos from us doing. I can't remember the name of the designer, but yeah, I mean, it was constant, right? Oh,
Yeah.
you guys are going to go wear this designer's clothes, and we're going to do a whole spread,
Yeah,
print
yeah.
spread of you guys wearing these clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, I found an old picture of all of us together doing something, and I sent it to you, Christopher. I just emailed it to you because I didn't know if I could screen share. So check and see, maybe pop that on. I know we had a lot of pictures like this, but I just grabbed one. I was like, oh, here's us. Like, I don't even remember what we were doing. We're just all together in these outfits, like these
Yeah.
cotton
Joe
leather.
Bloggs. Yep, that's it. Joe Bloggs. Thank you. Somebody popped that in there.
Yeah.
That was it.
I'll
Another question was, were we disappointed the DMP tour didn't come to America?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's one of my big disappointments.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Absolutely.
Tony. Why you? Just for our family and friends and like being able to travel.
Family and friends, when it was the
Yeah.
first, I mean, major. We did the new tour. It was cool, but now we have this big release, right? Where double, triple platinum is hitting, and we knew we had
the
the
show was
show.
hot.
The show was
hot.
blazing. It was blazing, and for us to not do that show here in the States was it was very disappointing. And then as Prince does, he flipped the script, switched over. That
And
was
it was
it.
done. I mean, it was like done.
Done.
It just went off and then on to the next.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
There it is. There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was done. I remember just sitting in the office with Prince, and Mo Austin was just him, and they were going at it. I was trying to get up out of the office and leave, and Mo was like, "No, well, Prince, no, we've got five more singles on this album." Right. And Prince was like, I'm done. It's next. I'm on to the next one. I got a new project. He's like, so just listening to that and the reasoning behind Prince and just how prolific he was, but still understanding the business side and understanding Warner's side of it also. Listen, guys, I mean, there's no need to take this thing off the shelf. Yeah, absolutely. Let's hit the tour. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, well, let's look. I got a little bit of surprise for you. We got somebody else in the mix. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Damon Dixon's in
There
there.
he is.
Hey. Oh my God.
There he
How are
is.
you?
I'm good, man. Everybody good?
We are good.
Man, looking blue. Look at that. That is a sharp.
Hey.
D, you need a drink. Did you bring your drink with you?
No, but it's right over. I can just, it's just right there.
Well, make that cocktail, bro.
Yeah, we did actually have a couple of questions. What was the first, I want to share this from Cammie because Cammie is one of our chat room producers. She will look up information if I can't verify something. But she said, Tony, last October, you were the best, making me feel special when you singled me out, singing to me, and pulled me on stage to dance. You helped make my year after all I went through with my mom. I will always appreciate and love you for that.
Yes.
So, shout out. There
Thank
you
you. One of the main things I think that Kirk, Damon, and myself always tried to do is to make sure that, us understanding that we were the closest that the fans were going to even get to Prince or even get to Robia and Lori, because he kept them so separated from everybody else, and made sure that they were, in their own bubble, which was kind of frustrating to them at times, I think. Y'all don't know Robia's a clown, right? She loves the joke. She's a prankster. She loves to have fun, and to be, kind of siloed like that was, we felt a little bad about that. But, whenever we could bring anyone up on stage, or just to walk around the stadium and just walk up behind people who were looking at tour books and say, "Who's that big head fella?" And then they would turn around and see Damon, Kirk, or myself standing there, it just blew them away. So whatever we could do, little stuff like that, for the fans, we tried to. I mean, just understanding. I mean, our first tour, new tour, I remember us pulling up, Damon, maybe you remember this, Rotterdam, and we saw people camped out in sleeping bags and tents for at least a mile long, waiting to get into this stadium to see this show for the first time. And just understanding that commitment, and then seeing these people night after night after night. I mean, they would travel around like gypsies, right? I mean, just traveling gypsies. They saved up their money all year to make sure they traveled with us to every show. So we just wanted to try to make it as unique and positive for them as we could.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
What's some of the example? I mean, Robia, they say you're a prankster. What's one of the best?
Yeah,
Well,
let's
not
dig in a little bit.
Well,
Dig in a little bit.
I don't think I was pulling pranks, but like, I don't know. I think I had just a little bit of a different vibe than some of the girls. Like, I was kind of like one of the guys a little bit. So I had that kind of sense of humor, and I like to just like be funny and a little crazy. I'm not the kind of girl who, always has like the high heels and the mini skirt. And I used to get in trouble for that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Damon and Tony? Like, I would get in trouble sometimes because
I got in trouble for that too.
we show up somewhere, even if on a travel day, like even going to the airplane, or I remember being on the bullet train and I'm wearing jeans and I had to hear about wearing jeans because I'd get in trouble.
That's right.
So,
right.
I mean, I didn't feel like I was totally not allowed to be with the guys, but it was more the guys, because people always ask me, like, Prince was a prankster. Tell me all the pranks that he pulled. But he didn't do that with us.
Right.
Like, he wasn't in that vibe with us. He was more like, he was more Mankini or whatever with us. Like, he was more like, my name is Prince. He wasn't like cracking jokes or doing that vibe with us. So I didn't get to do that as much. It's fine. But, had it been a little different, I would have been in there with the guys, like, doing jokes, laughing, like playing pranks on him, all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
So since you brought that back, I'm going to go through this. You talked about Joe Blogs and the outfits and all that. And Tony M, we already know that you have a line that you're not going to wear the mankini thing. So
no, man. Listen. During the Cream video, I was probably the one most upset. Prince couldn't figure out why I'm upset. I'm like, bro, we look like a box of Skittles over here. We're just so many colors going on. I'm like, what's going on, man? What's really going on?
Yeah. So let me ask, Robia and Damon, same thing. Both of you guys can answer this. Were there these surprise outfits that you kind of felt like, I don't know? Also, like, is there anything that you kind of refused or was
Damon? Anything?
Hey, don't be trying to get me to tell no stories about nothing.
Well, if you wore it,
I don't. I mean, he picked out most of everything everybody wore. He pretty much picked it out for you.
Really?
He already had it set. Yeah, there was. We didn't just go pick up what we wanted to wear. It was whenever we did a show, the stuff was already set in the dressing room. Whenever we did videos, they already had stuff laid out. We had to go up the wardrobe. They'd tell us what, well, Prince got y'all in this and he wants you in that. We're like, all right, whatever. So we just kind of roll with whatever he had. Now, in the case of the Gangsta Glam video, and in Tony's case, yeah, you're going to say, no, bro, I'm not wearing one of those. So,
So who was the green Skittle?
The green Skittle.
The original Power Rangers.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
We actually got to pick out a bunch of our clothes because I don't know. I mean, obviously the costumers at Paisley were amazing, and they were mostly making stuff for Prince. I mean, were they making your guys all your things?
Oh yeah, they made all of our clothes. Everything
okay, so we didn't get. I have to say, we didn't get that as much. I think they maybe made our cream bustiers. Those were amazing. But for whatever reason, I don't think they did as much. Probably for the tour, they created our wardrobe for the tour. Mm-hmm. But especially all of our press and everything, we just, they just kind of gave us a budget and we would just go shop and then we would just pick out outfits. Yeah. So we got a lot to say, actually, me and Lori. Yeah.
They don't trust the guys with their own budget for clothes.
That happened later down the road.
Hate to say it. I read into that too.
Are you being cheeky, or do you really have a story there, Scott?
No, I was just making fun because it's like, yeah, I was like, look, the outfits are bold colors. I mean, welcome to the 90s, right? It's like
Right.
graphic, bold. You look for the guy with the big hat. All that stuff was there, and it was like just the style, the sense of style with Prince, with his wardrobe, and he knew his brand, but he also was like, okay, I got a presentation here of everyone else too. That just shows you his work ethic. He's like, okay, he obviously could hand that off, but he probably had his hands in so much, including the set design. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do there? Yeah. The do-rags.
I came close to clocking him, man.
Really close. So Henry Nelson asked the question, and did you get to keep any outfits?
I kept a couple things. I had a couple things that I kept, but just not knowing, I probably would have kept more. Just not knowing. Listen, you have this finite window, right? And that you're going to be here for 15, 20 minutes, whatever that's going to be, and you're just trying to be involved in as much as you can, and not even thinking in hindsight, oh man, I should have kept those silk pajamas that you see right there. Those were nice.
Those were good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. All that Versace stuff, man. I'm like,
all I have I have my little cream hot pants, like those little shorts that we wore. That's the only thing I still have.
That's the only thing, huh?
That's it. Just the hot pants.
I mean, how much time did you guys always, let me just say, as far as like the choreography and everything that's going on, everything just looks so immaculate and so on point. I mean, how long would you guys go to rehearse something like this? Is it like a full day? Because you guys are naturals at what you do, obviously, but what does something like Daddy Pop take to choreograph time-wise?
Damon, I'll let you jump in on that one.
No, you can go ahead and handle it, brother. We rehearsals were every day, so you're pretty much, we rehearse 8-10 hours a day sometimes. We just rehearsed every song, every mix he could. I mean, there was even songs that we rehearsed that never really got to the stage. So rehearsal was every day. So when Tony and Kirk put together a routine, we would basically ask for a cassette so we can go to another room and put it together, and then come back and show them what we have. Because when they're playing the music, they would have to stop and make sure certain things were being played this way and that. Whereas we just wanted to hear the song, go through and piece together what we needed to piece together, and then come back in there and they'd be like, "Are y'all already done?" We're like, "Yeah, we're ready to go." So when they played it, we throw what we had out, what we went and worked on, and he'd be like, and he never really questioned what we did. He never really would say, "Oh no, I don't like that," or no. We'd find times he'd have this look on his face like, "Damn, these motherfuckers right here, boy. Damn."
That is true with a Daddy Pop. When I first saw that at Paisley, when you guys put that together, I'm like a kid in a candy store, and it was tight. When you guys were lifting up Prince and they were spinning the hits, everything was like on point. And you guys did that probably about 10 times, every time the same. And then a couple weeks later, we did it in the rehearsal stage when we did Call the Law. No, we did Willing and Able. We did a bunch of those things. And I think we did a run through of Daddy Pop. And I remember the choreography, and I said, okay, I'm going to put the camera where I know Prince is going to do the splits and land right there. There's a bit of trust there, because if I was too close, he would obviously adjust, but I had to get the shot. You guys were always on. I knew where to be because I could trust you guys. And that's a testament to how much hard work you guys did. And Robia, you guys, like, we did the house style video. I mean, that was kind of impromptu, but it looked like you guys just were clicking and you just did your thing, and you must have had some discussion and you just gelled. And it was the chemistry was so cool. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, I could shoot another day of that for sure. It's
Yeah,
like
their
we didn't cover
chemistry-
what
I
we
gotta
could
say
have.
that video. I mean, I think they all hold up, but I just rewatched that one last night, and I was like, this video is incredible. The house style video. It's so awesome. Everyone's great in it. The band's great in it. Rosie's amazing in it.
Oh,
I love how like she got so featured in that. She really had her
Yes.
moment in that one. I love it. And I just remember that I was thinking about you guys at the end. And I don't know if you guys did too much choreography in that one, Tony, but I remember that thing at the very end where I think you guys just did an impromptu. You were like doing this weird head thing. You were like,
Oh yeah, with the head. Yes, yes,
you know
yes,
what I'm
yes.
talking about? Like you guys were just messing around, being like totally goofy. You're like, let's do this, and it was so funny. Like there's so many funny things you guys do in this video, and it's just when I watched it last night, I was just like, oh, we had so much fun. They were so fun. It was all
Had an
So-
absolute blast.
Chuck,
and we separated that by a couple of weeks. We shot Prince and the band and all the girls, and then we did Diamond and Pearl like on another day, and we didn't have the same lights because those were somewhere else. And that was the big jump that we had to do. Is like, well, how do we make it look the same when you don't have the same lighting? But it was man, it's like sometimes just get out of the way of fun. It
And
worked
then
out great.
Scott, was it the same day where we were just like in the car blindfolded and then we went to the house? Like was that all part of
I
the
think.
shoot, or was that something different that just made it into this video?
Oh, I don't know, but I remember that car drive too because I'm like, wait a second, you want to drive in the middle of the night on the road, obviously, and
I have to light you guys.
Galpin, and those are like 50 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour roads. And I remember I was like, the assistant cameraman had a moonroof, and I said, well, I'm like standing on his passenger seat so I could get the camera outside so I could get something of that car driving. And then we go to Prince's house, and we didn't have any lights. So we had to wait for lights. I remember that. And then he was, you were blind. You two were blindfolded. That's the whole story. We just sort of, I don't know when this was created, but it was just sort of like, okay, we were going to do this. I cut the heck out of my finger with one of the lights. Prince got me a Band-Aid, which is great because there's only him and maybe some other assistant or something. But I'm like, this is just, you cherish these moments, even though at the time it's like, I hope I don't mess it up.
Right.
But, you know, I have 2 lights and 10 minutes and I can't blow a fuse.
Right.
That's what's going through my head. What can I plug in the wall at 3 a.m? That's probably when we shot it too.
Yeah, I think it was the middle of the night.
It's always the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Always.
it's always the middle.
Yeah, don't try to pull the permits on that because it didn't exist.
No, exactly.
Well, it's good you said that. Somebody popped up with another good question. Peggy, she's like, how did you keep up with that schedule? Because it had to be, pure adrenaline. So what was it that you did knowing that it was time? Like something could come up at any moment. How did you stay aware and alert?
For me?
Any of you, anyone can answer this one.
For me, make sure it's in focus and have a film. Make sure you're on. That's just, don't drop the camera. I don't know. It's just, you just kind of go and you just have a flow. And then there's this sort of non-verbal communication. It's like, with like Sexy MF, it's like when I'm the girls, I remember the girls in the bedroom when we did the girls in Sexy MF in the bedroom, we shot that, and it was I think it was one take, and we just shot that, and then we're done. And I looked at Prince and I gave him the thumbs up, and he was like, "Keep shooting some stuff. It all work. Right. Keep going." Right?
Yeah. I remember just, and Damon, maybe you remember this, but I remember before we were going out on the new tour, and the person had mentioned something about adrenaline, and and he tried to warn us. He said adrenaline is something else. Let me tell you. So Damon and Kirk and I, we knew the choreography. We always worked out. We always did our cardiovascular. I mean, we were ready to go. We were ready for this tour. And he says, I know you guys are in shape. I know this, that, and the other. He said, but let me tell you something. Adrenaline is something else. And when that curtain rises and you get that energy from the crowd, you are going to go 100 miles an hour. And you guys have 5 songs to dance through before you even get a break. Or Tony, you go to the microphone. So I need you to pay attention to your pacing. Oh man, we got this. We got this. I remember that Rotterdam show. It was raining, and Damon's coming down the ramp doing his leg kick. Boom, slips, slides down the stage. Right, there's puddles of water we're trying to jump through, and then all of a sudden we get through to the fifth song, and we do around, we spin around, we do this like pyramid thing over the Prince, and we're just gasping. He looks up at us. He said, "I told you. I told you. Gotta watch
While he's doing the splits.
Oh, and why he has a turbo fan blowing on him, and he looks nice and cool, and we're sweating like brothers going to the election in Georgia.
Oh my word! You had to go there. You had to.
I did. I could have used another word, but I did not. So,
Oh my lord!
Had to watch your P's and Q's. I live here too.
that's right. Good old boys.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that that many people haven't seen the video yet, but there is a portion of the video in the Glam Slam show that's going to be included in the Super Deluxe box set, where he actually jumps up on the bar and is dancing on the bar. And that, from what I understand, Scott, you can probably attest to this, or whoever was there, that was, from what I understand, not choreographed. He just decided to just do it on his own. And you've got lots of stuff going on at the bar at any point in time. There's lots of, I can't even imagine the risk that took for him to hop up on the bar, which.
Well, yeah, there was, the bartenders knew what was going on because they had cleared the bar. They didn't want any drinks. They didn't want anything on there. They wanted it clean. So it was, puddles in Rotterdam. That was not happening on Glam Slam's, bar. Right. So, and I took the liberty of just not asking anyone to jump up on the bar with him, but he had to be up on the bar first because I had the camera, and once you have the camera, it's kind of like, don't mess with the camera guy. So I kind of took I didn't ask for permission. I asked for forgiveness. So I said, I'm going up here. This is where I'm going to be once Prince, that's like, I was part of the plan, but I knew what he was going to do. But the bartenders were wiping things down. They made sure nobody put drinks up there because when, it was so dark in that particular part of the bar, the lights were just, I had I think I had one grip with a handheld light. That's all I could get. I could never light the club because we only had 2 hours before the show. But getting on the stage or getting on the bar was just one of those things that I couldn't imagine not doing it. Looking back, I'm like looking up at him. I was like, okay, let's enjoy this moment. I don't think he knew I was doing that because I never told anyone I was doing that.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, post that question, Jeff.
Yeah. Hey, this one is for Tony and Damon. Did you ever have any injuries that sidelined you for a show, or did you just power through it?
You power through. Okay. I'm going to bring up one, and Damon, I know you will remember, and Robia, you may also. But we were in Europe, and it was the Diamonds and Pearls tour, and I remember we were moving. We had stages that flip-flop cities, right, so we could keep things moving. And we were in one, I think it was Germany, I want to say, but the venue wasn't wide enough to have the wings fully extended on the stage, so it was cut off. Well, every night at this portion of the song, I would go to the full wing, and play with the crowd or whatever. Well, they didn't have glow tape on the stage, and I didn't know the stage was short. So I'm up on this wing. It's probably 15, 20 feet up. And I step, and you know how when you step like, I'm stepping in, it was not, I fell straight off that stage, hit the side of the speaker, right? And then it was funny because Prince called us up to the room later. He said, I want you guys to see something. And all you heard was this muffle from my mic. And then the next thing you saw was me walking out into the crowd. I didn't miss a beat. I did not miss a lyric. I was on time. Didn't know if I had busted ribs or I was all bruised up. But yeah, I remember falling off that stage. It was
I remember that. We were all like, Tony completely fell off the stage. And kept going.
Oh my God.
And kept going.
Oh my word. Yeah. Maite told a story last night. Maite was on the show last night, and she said she told the story, and I think Tony, you were at the show where she stage dived and nobody caught her.
They parted like the Red Sea, man. It was like
Red Sea, and she went smack onto the concrete.
Yeah.
And she just
Got up.
She was pissed. Oh man. And she checked a couple times to make sure that people were going to be there. Yep. And I was like, yeah. And then she went for it. And yeah.
God.
Oh, that's gnarly. I'm glad that never happened to me.
Robia, do you have a injury story? I mean, you're a dad.
No.
You guys face injuries all the time.
Well, I mean, thank God I was, 20, didn't have any injuries. I made it through all the show, no injuries. I never really had a big injury in my whole career. So I was pretty blessed. But also I remember that rain show, and I remember I might have even snuck off the stage when I was supposed to be on the stage because it was really raining. It was gnarly.
It was pouring.
And I think that's the one time, I didn't get in trouble, but I remember I kind of was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not those girls at the Super Bowl. Dang, those girls. They brought it home at the Super Bowl.
They sure did.
They did. But I just wasn't, was not those girls. So I was like, it's pouring. I can't do this dancing. It's too slippery. And the stage was like an ice skating rink.
It was.
I remember kind of sort of not really doing all the choreography, just sort of faking it and posing. And then doing my own thing and then getting off the stage because I was a little nervous about that. So Speaking of the show, I heard that there's some great footage of the whole show. I've seen very blurry, tiny little clips of moments on the tour, but was it really filmed? Is it in the vault? Does it exist? Our whole beautiful show somewhere on film?
Which show are you talking about?
Our live show, the world tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, it is. We shot, I was there for slated for 2 weeks, but we were in London, I think Earl's Court. Were you there, Robia? I think
well, if it was a world tour, I was on the tour.
Yeah. So I know that there was 2 cameras at least for 3 of the shows, if not more. But that was the time I got called back for something else. So I know that there is coverage of that. I was on stage as well.
I never saw any footage. Did you, Tony? Did you ever see
I never saw it
They
either.
showed some at the celebration. That's the first time seeing any of that footage.
Yeah.
But I knew we were filming all of the time. But a lot of it never made the light of day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who are just joining us on audio, if you're listening on the Funked Up,
Uh-oh.
my apologies for going
Is the
so
show over?
No, it's not over. I wanted to make sure that people
Hold
knew.
on.
Do you ever come into the middle of an interview and you don't know who you're listening to as the interview's going? You're like, who am I listening to? You got Scott McCullough, who is was a director for most of everything that happened with Diamonds and Pearls. His resume, everything that he shot during that period of time is just immense. Then, of course, you've got 2 members of the NPG in the house, Damon Dixon and Tony M., and which is fantastic. Damon came in as a surprise, so that's the reason why he's not in the title. We will fix that when we go to audio for sure. And then, of course, we also have the beautiful dancer known as Pearl. Robia Scott is in the house as well, and we were just sharing all kinds of Diamonds and Pearls stories, and it is fantastic. So the question that they had was, you mentioned the finger feeding scene from the Cream video was not scripted. If not, whose idea was it to add that in?
There were no ideas. Things just happened. Things just happened in the moment. I think I just did that. And then before I knew it, he grabbed my hand and licked it. And then we were all like, oh, everyone was a little taken aback. That's what we're doing. Okay. And then Lori was even like, oh, he wants some of yours. He doesn't want any of mine. I'm like, well, so things just happened. It was just fun, but nothing was planned. That definitely was not scripted.
Wow, that's fantastic. All right, we got so many questions here, and thank you to the audience for asking some of these questions, because that's what we really wanted. Is we know that you have questions, and we want to make sure that they get answered, because sometimes we don't ask the right questions. We do, but not all the time. Lenny's asked, and I guess anybody can answer this. Damon, we'll start with you. What city was the best livest show, is how he said it, on the Diamonds and Pearls tour, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know that there's one that was better than the other. Because every night we bring, that energy and put in the show. So I don't know that there was one that I really, would say that was the best, or the one that was, fighting for me. I think the whole tour for Diamond and Pearls was just like like high energy, just, you know, extremely full of, you know, life. It wasn't really one that I could pick like that. I mean, maybe Tony or maybe Robia could find something that one of the shows that actually stood out a whole lot. But I just think the whole tour for Diamond and Pearl, wherever we went, it was off the chain. Energy from the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Like I concur with Damon. For one that stood out for me was probably only because it was Funk Night, and it was a show in Toronto, Canada, and we didn't tell Prince, but we were able to find some people who worked at the venue, and we had on these white outfits, and we're like, man, is there any way we can get some jerseys? So we got some Toronto Maple Leaf jerseys to put on. And Prince didn't know anything about it. It was Funk Night, he said. So you just, when it happens, it just happens. And we walked out in those Toronto Maple Leaf shirts, and Prince couldn't see us, and the crowd went berserk, right? And then he turns around and goes, "Oh, I didn't get one of those." Or or remember the guy, the spray painted jackets? Was it Rico who spray painted all those beautiful jackets for like Guy, and he did ours? And we came out in Atlanta with those spray painted jackets on, those jean jackets. And
Actually,
Prince
that
didn't
was
have
in
one of
Detroit,
those.
bro. That was in Detroit.
Detroit. There you go.
You
Yeah.
did something very similar in Atlanta, though. I remember you had something that was very similar to that. But yeah, go ahead.
We debuted him in Detroit because that's where Rico was, and he had delivered all of those jackets. He just showed up, and he had pictures from probably the LPs or whatever, and he spray painted these jackets, and we're like, oh man, these are the Guy jackets, man. And then we're like, we walked out, and Prince was not happy with that either. But it was Funk Night again. It was Funk Night.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Tony, explain what Funk Night is.
So I mean, it'd be a challenge that he say, who else is going to get, who's going to be the funkiest tonight, and you get that brown bag. There'd be a little bonus at the end of the show. See, Rabia's like, what? What are you talking about?
I never got to be funky.
Oh yeah, so it was Funk Night that was introduced, and we're like, okay, who's coming with the funk tonight? And then so Damon Kirk and I, we were trying to get that brown bag every night, man, every night.
Jeez. All right. Speaking of Guy, I actually did a Guy music video. Are there any real fans that know which Guy music video I did from back in the day? I would love to see if anyone knows.
We will leave it up to the chat.
I'll give you a brown bag. Tony's going to give it to you. He's got a lot of cash for you. Brown bag, game of the night.
Yeah, he's been talking up this brown bag a lot. He's got a stash.
Secret stash in his own vault.
Elena guessed Groove Me.
What was that?
Elena guessed Groove Me. Was that the correct? Nope. That was
Groove Me.
All right, let's see who's going to get Funk Night. Let's see.
Give one more guess. Does anyone have a guess?
Let's see.
Somebody says I like.
Nope. Then you got to run to YouTube and look it up. It's "Do Me Right."
Oh, was it? Okay.
What?
It's a good song. Good song.
All right. What other questions do we have here? Tony, did P ask you to play guitar? How did that happen? How did he instruct you to play?
How did it happen? It happened from a sound check during the new tour, and he was flying back and forth doing Graffiti Bridge, finishing the editing on that, and Damon Kirk, Michael, we were all messing around on stage, and we ended up doing Humpty Dance. And I was playing guitar, and I was doing the lyrics to Humpty Dance. So that's kind of where the guitar came in. That's kind of where the rapping started, and that was kind of like the birth of all of that.
Yes, that's fantastic, man. What are you guys most excited about with this? There's so much coming in with this box set. There's so much material in here.
Oh,
Scott,
man.
I'm going to go with you on this one to start this question, because there is a lot of material in this box set, and I know you have more of an attachment probably to the Glam Slam video. Obviously, you're looking forward to seeing this its completion, but what are you most excited about with the box set? Would that be it?
Well, I think the songs that we haven't heard, the vault stuff, and I'm just intrigued by the handwritten notes, the books, the interviews, just having the stuff out there again, like the Diamonds and Pearls videos, seeing Gangster Glam through a whole new group of people. Call the Law. We had some fun on that shoot too.
Man,
That
yes,
was
we did. Yes, we
that
did.
that turned out great. Prince had no change in the edit at all. I'm like, that's great, and that's going to be seen again. So it's just, it's just all of a sudden it's woken up into a different generation, which I think is great.
I remember
Mostly
Call
new
the
stuff.
Law. Scott, I remember saying, okay, bro, you ready? We're shooting this in North Minneapolis. We're going to my house in North Minneapolis. We're going to shoot it on Plymouth Avenue, North
Mhm.
Commons Park. This is the hood. This is where we're doing this. And then we shot it in. Yep, exactly. It was. I remember that. I remember Prince just saying, Tony, just go shoot it. You, Damon, and Kirk, go ahead and shoot the video. We're like, what? What are we gonna do? I have no idea.
Yeah, we closed down that street. We went to
Plymouth
some
Avenue.
park. Yeah,
Yep.
we went to some park. I don't even know what park it was.
North
Yeah, it was
Commons
some-
Park. Yeah, that was where we all had our Damon and I would do dance battles at the old North Commons Park parties late at night, and we would go get our groove on, be pop locking and camelotting and everything at the spot. So yeah, I mean, we took you to our old stomping grounds.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was one of those videos that just sort of fell together so nicely, and intercut some of the other stuff that we did with while we did going back to that one day we shot at the studio, the rehearsal stage, the rehearsal studio. So much was done in that studio. It seemed like it was just sort of took away some of that pressure of the big stage for some reason, just sort of let loose.
It did. It absolutely, and it gave you a chance to hone everything. And before you went to the sound stage and did the full blown productions. So Damon, Kirk, myself, Robia, Laurie, we were able to just tighten up so much of the choreography and just our spacing and understanding where we were going to be. Now we had to adjust, of course, once you get to that massive stage. Prince would also look at things and say, "I need you over here," or Robia, Laurie, maybe spread out a little bit here, or Damon, Tony, Kirk, maybe So there was some adjustments that had to be made, but for the most part, we were locked in by the time we hit that sound stage.
Man, there's so much here in this box set. It's just amazing. The remastering of Diamonds and Pearls, obviously, which I'm not going to get into this, but it's already out there. I'm not going to get into some of the specifics of that. I kind of feel some sort of way that some people have paid for this and it's already available out there for like the remastered. The box set obviously comes with a lot of other things. It comes with the book and it comes with all these extra things like the video and whatnot. But I just think that they've kind of have pre-released a lot of stuff already before we've had our hands on it. But I'm still excited.
So fun just to hear like the Cream take two. Like it was such a different version. It's so edgy. It's like so much rockier. I was like, oh my gosh, like it was just cool to hear that because it's like has such a different feel, such a different flavor to it. And to see where it ended up. But can I actually jump in real quick? I'm so sorry, but I have a daughter who needs to get to dance class, so I have to run. But can I just say a couple things real quick before I go?
Definitely.
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. I wish I could see all the people watching and interact with you guys more. Oh my gosh, Damon, Tony, so good to see you guys, and Scott, to see you after all this time. Now, hopefully we can connect a little bit because I would love to just be able to just catch up on some other things. So we'll do that.
Yes.
But real quick, because I've been reached out to so much, obviously, because all this is going on, and I have a lot more like Prince stories I'd like to share, some personal things that I haven't shared much that I think are really some good, intriguing stories. And I've had a lot of people reach out and want autographs. So I'm actually next week, the day before the release, on the Thursday the 26th, I'm going to do on my Instagram, which is Robia Scott. I'm going to do a live, and I'm going to share some personal stories and also do a live autograph signing. And I have Prince autographs. I also have some Buffy things for Buffy fans. One of the Buffy cast is going to join me, Claire, who played Glory. We're going to talk some Buffy days. We're going to talk some Prince days. I'm going to share some more personal stories that you haven't heard yet. So if you want to join me on that, tune into my Instagram on next Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to grab a picture now before we do the live, you can go to streamily.com/Robia Scott. It's streamily.com/Robia Scott. grab a photo. I'll sign it for you live on the air, and you can ask me questions, and we'll have a little chat, a little more Prince chat, coffee chat.
Look at this
Awesome.
girl. Look at this girl handling her business. Go handle that business, girl. Do your thing.
You know what I'm saying? All right.
Before you leave,
Yes.
one question.
Nope. Streamily, ILY. STREAMILY. Streamily. Thank you for that.
Get
Go
it
ahead,
right.
go ahead,
Get it
Tony.
right. So, question.
Yeah, get it right. Come on. Don't say my
Get it
people
right.
say
Get
it wrong.
it right. We need, you know.
It's a tough room. It's a tough
Guys,
room.
put down your vodkas. STREAMILY. Streamily.com.
Stream Ellie. Get it right, y'all.
Okay, Tony, what's that?
Just quickly, I know you got to go.
Yeah.
If we get these shows together, you ready to do something? Show up on a couple shows.
Oh my gosh, it would be a blast.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
I would love to do something. Please.
All right,
please,
perfect.
please.
I know we chatted about it a couple of years. We chatted about it a couple of years back, and we would love to, we'll see what they pull together. But I'm absolutely lobbying for you guys to come hit something with us. We would love it.
Oh my gosh, I would love it. And I'd love if someone could dig up Lori. I mean, she is so MIA.
Yeah.
I cannot find her. Like, she's really off the grid, and I would love to see her and talk to her. So
yeah.
That's that. All right, bye guys. Thank you so much.
Bye. Nice to see you again.
Bye.
Thank you so much. It was Robia Scott, aka Pearl, Diamond and Pearl. And we obviously don't want to hold you guys up if you got stuff to do. We're just kind of just hanging and just sharing Diamonds and Pearl stuff. So I guess we can obviously do a little bit of a quick wrap up. But before each of you go, first off, thank you guys so much for dropping in. I know it's kind of the album gets released next week. So before you go, tell me, what you're wanting to promote right now, what you have going on, how we can support you as fans. Also, what you're most excited about regarding Diamonds and Pearls and the release. If there's something specific in the box set that you're really looking forward to. Scott, I'll start with you.
Well, it's just I think just trying to get that. Obviously, I'm connected to that live show. I think that live show is something special. No one's really seen, because I think there's those crappy videos of him doing club shows, but this is like 5 feet away in the raw, no second takes. I mean, bless Taylor Swift and Beyonce, but they had 3 or 4 days to shoot this with 10, 20 cameras, redubs, whatever they had to do. This was like as authentic as you could see. I would love to see that on the big screen. I'd love to see a theatrical of some sort. Maybe the too much oxygen is taken out of the room for these other things, but that's what I would love to see. But also the new songs that just showcase the band and the unique talents of all these guys.
Yeah,
that's what I look forward to.
And I would say, as far as promotion, you have this amazing vodka, which we've kind of been sipping on.
Share the website and all that.
Yes,
it's rosavodka.com. Rosa Vodka, as spelled, vodka.com. We are in stores in California. We only have our license for in stores there, in bars and restaurants. We're starting out. We're like 100 places, but we're also online, so you can buy online, because we have a company that handles all the licensing. There's probably 10 or 12 states that don't allow internet purchases and shipping, but you can see that all on the website shop. And you can buy, we handle the shipping after like 3 or 4 bottles. And we just, we're making a stab at a diversification. I'm trying to, we found something interesting and unique. Nobody else has it. We're actually patent pending. That's a whole different story, going through the patent process. But we think we got something special. So thank you for, sharing it.
Yeah, well, I'll say, just on your behalf, and as a warning on the label, this vodka is smoother than you expect, and you will be tempted to continue to go. Pace yourself. It's really
really Thank you.
I will, Scott. I will be sliding up in the DM, man. Come on,
do
man.
that.
Come on,
do that.
I'll connect
on its way.
Your connections on the phone.
Absolutely.
Yep. We missed each other last time I was in town, so I felt bad we couldn't meet up, but you know, it's the way things are. So next time
Yeah.
in town, I'll be sure that I'll get you something for. And Damon too. Send me through Tony. Send me your address. I'll get you a nice Rosa vodka bottle too.
Absolutely.
Make sure Robia's in that mix too.
I'll
Yeah,
be there on the
absolutely. Don't leave
27th.
her out.
Scott, where are you located at?
I'm in LA.
You're in LA?
I'm in LA. Yeah.
We make that drive quite a bit. Well, either way, you're close to me. I'm in AZ now, so
Yeah.
we'll get it handled.
Okay. Cool.
Whereabouts in AZ are you, Tony?
I'm over by South Mountain, like in between Ahwatukee, so in Phoenix, basically right by Great Mountain View, and it's beautiful.
It's
I'm
my
gonna be
favorite city,
flying-
man. Telling
flying-
you.
I'm flying into Phoenix on Monday. I'll be there for a meeting in Chandler, so maybe I might
Oh,
connect.
we're closer. Yeah, we're close to Chandler. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the Marriott up there in Chandler. So
Hit me up. Hit me up. I'm in and out. Next week. Well, I'll be there for the Diamonds and Pearls release, and then work back and forth to Minneapolis. So I'm back. But just hit me up and let me know.
all right. Listen, there was a question I wanted to ask you, and I asked you this question years ago when you were on, and it's specific to Diamonds and Pearls, and it's in reference to Jughead, and it's regarding this clip here.
The hell was that?
I love that song. I love that song, by the way. I was hoping I would be shooting that one.
My favorite line. The hell was that?
When you were recording this, and you heard that little whatever it was in the background.
Yeah.
You really not know when you were stepping behind the mic what was that? Was that what the hell?
Oh no, that was live. That was live, and I remember that sound came through the headphones, and I just, what the hell was that? and not, I did not think he would keep that, but he kept it, and
I love that.
But yeah, that was live. That was live.
I always wondered. I always wondered, is that scripted or did it really happen live?
No, it really happened live.
Best.
I love those stories. Like a lot of people don't know this, but on the Police's song Roxanne, that weird keyboard, that piano brunk, he was in the process of recording and he backed up and he actually accidentally sat on the piano and then he laughed and he kept it in the recording. So that's how when Roxanne starts out with that weird chord, he sat on the piano and then he laughed.
That was the booty chord.
I love those little moments. It's just
special chord.
So Tony, what's up? I know we've seen a couple questions about the artist formerly known as MPG or whatever. We were MPG or whatever it was. Are you going back on tour? Are we on pause right now? What's happening?
No, I mean, right now, I mean, we're just working through the estate like we should be. And one thing I will mention is that, I hear a lot of times, and I think Damon heard it also, is that, why don't you guys come here? Why don't you come there? Well, when we show up and it's not sold out, we're like, well, okay. But if we're coming, you hear we're coming, come on out, put your butts in the seats, y'all. Come on out and party with us, and let's do it. So, right now we looking at a couple things, but you can go check out the website, and I won't get into the estate stuff.
Are you guys doing your own? If I can just ask a question, are you guys doing your own material, or is this something that you're planning on? I would love to be in touch with that.
Yeah,
Great question. Yeah, we have been recording constantly. I think we just tweaking a couple vocals, but I think we have some heat in the can, ready to roll.
And for our viewers, tell them the website.
www.newpowergeneration.net.
If you want to come to this city in Atlanta, we'll make sure that some people come out. You'll get a showing. So
yeah, y'all was in full effect when we were in the ATL last time, man. So yeah, it's always home. It's absolutely. So we're it's just the promoters making it happen, and I think what irks us the most is if I see and I'm not downplaying any of the bands who are tribute bands who are, and they're just respectfully doing their thing and recognizing Prince as they see it. But if anybody should be doing it, I feel it should be the band who created the music with them.
Yeah,
that's just
I
that's just
agree.
how I feel about it.
Drop the
Agreed.
mic. Boom.
Yep, that's true authenticity, because I think you said that before, that you were everyone was integral with the creation, and it was like quite a potpourri of just everyone adding things and doing things, and it was like it really seemed like it was a team effort. So I do
Yeah.
second that. I think that's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Damon,
Thank you.
my man, I love talking to you. Damon and I talk quite a bit on the phone. I just love this man because he's so authentic. It's just you always get the real every time.
Hey, I keep it real, and I'm gonna keep it real all the time. It just, I mean, I don't know no other way to be. I rub some people the wrong way, but hey, you come correct, you get correct. You come wrong, and you get Damien. So
Yes, sir.
so I'm actually putting together a guy named Eric Rogers has got a show thing that he's doing down in Lexington, Kentucky. And he asked me to come down and be a part of his event. So on the 27th, 28th, and 29th, I will be in Lexington, Kentucky, and I'll be doing a dance class on that Saturday of a routine that I put together for it. It'll be line dance / routine for this class. So I put that together already. I'm already, ready to do it. I'm getting excited because it's coming up next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend, the following weekend. But doing that, and then I started working on my Day brand.
Yes.
Awesome.
My clothing.
Nice.
And I'll be selling that at the venue when I'm down there for my event that I'm being a part of. It's going to be a packed weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there'll be all kind of things going on. Be a meet and greet dinner thing on that Friday for a bunch of people that paid the money to sit down and eat and have conversation, and they're going to get the raw Damon. I mean, like, I ain't holding Jack back.
Wait a second.
We'll talk and have a good time.
There's more to David? What? Boom.
Look, hey, so, but we'll be having that whole weekend is just going to be jam-packed full of things going on. There'll be a dance party on Saturday night, to complement the dance class during the day. Friday night, the dinner, like I said, and then Sunday morning, a breakfast thing that they're doing, breakfast brunch thing. I thought in it, starfish and coffee is what they're calling it. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing basically that whole time I'm down there, is just kind of, meeting some people I probably have never met, some people that probably just come through, and hey, it'll just be a good time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to keep myself busy since I'm not doing much of anything nowadays, so.
Well, let me just say, I want to say a couple things. The first thing I'll say is that, as in regards to your merchandise, Funkatopia has a store online. I don't know if you have anything online set up or not, but anything that you want to sell in the Funkatopia store, no, we won't take any cut. Just let me know. I'll put the inventory, I'll put up the pictures. When we get the orders in, I'll send them to you and you just fulfill them. And that's it. Just let me know. We will put the merchandise up on Funkatopia store for you.
Oh, okay.
That's love. That's love.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you're still doing your thing, and you're still. I see all your dance videos on Instagram and stuff. And I'm like, man, look at this boy, still cutting it up, still moves, still.
And that's an awesome design too. I gotta say that.
Really
Now looking at that happening, where is that? Where can I get that? That's awesome.
Well, I just, in the last 8 months, I've really started putting my time into trying to create. So everything that I'm doing right now and the stuff this design, I actually created it on my damn iPhone.
Wow.
And so I started putting it went to a shop and had this lady do it on her computer, and I'm sitting down there with her, and she was like, oh, that's really nice. And then once she did a couple things, she was like, oh, that's really nice. And I was like, well, thank you. I said, so I'm going to start this brand. So right now it's just in the, just in the beginning stages of it. And I'm kind of liking everything, and I'm starting to work on some more designs for t-shirts and, and the hat thing. And hopefully this will move forward on that part of it, so I can get into like having like a sweatsuit and some other stuff being up in that way. I got some ideas down the line, and I got, some people interested in. So I'm waiting until after this event to see what I have left over from what I've already had made, and whatever's there will be able, people can purchase it, what I have left from that, and then I'll start going into making the other things.
You have a lot of respect for me, because going through trying to get a design, it's like just letters and try to just stand out. That is a difficult thing.
Yeah.
Like trying to get like a poster for a movie or just an album cover. Just to have everyone agree on one thing. It's so simple, but it's so complicated. So congrats to you.
Yeah. Whenever you get a website, or if you get to that, when you get the marketing, whatever those pieces are, let us know. We'll speak out for you.
I appreciate it, man.
Help you get it together, whatever you need, man.
I support other people that's got things out there, so I try to, so now, I've been asked about it quite a bit, so I'm just trying to get it started now, and hopefully 2024, more things will start moving into that area, so I can start doing it. I'm sitting at home now, man. I'm kind of semi-retired because my job kind of let me go. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of sitting at home, and it's like, what am I doing? So.
And the answer is whatever you want.
Yeah, well, not every. Well, take money to do whatever you want sometimes. So.
Well, you didn't answer. You still had a leftover question though, too. What you're most excited about, as far as the Diamonds and Pearls box set.
I'm just looking forward to seeing some footage maybe that I haven't seen. The celebration where we did the Prince on the big screen was it was epic. I mean, I hadn't seen it, and then when Kurt called and talked about it and then we all sit down and started looking at it, I'm like, my God, man, we worked hard. We were, and that was rehearsal.
Yeah.
And that was rehearsal. That wasn't like when we got full blown. It was like 4 or 5 shows into a tour, and it was like just rolling like a train wreck.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll up out of here pretty. Hey, Chris, I just want to shoot out. I got to shoot here in a minute, but I just wanted to call out a couple things quickly before I bounce. So we do have a show at Saturday, October 21st at Governor State University. That's in University Park, Illinois. You can go out and get tickets at www.gobst.edu/dearly beloved. And then we have a New Year's Eve in Scottsdale at supernye2023.com. You can go out and find a couple things for that, just doing something for the minority entrepreneurship here out in Scottsdale for the Hispanic and Black journalists. We're gonna got a couple things happening, and otherwise, D, I'll be reaching out. Scott, you'll be hollering at me. I'll be sliding in, and then Jeff and Chris, y'all know where to reach me at, man.
I do.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the illustrious Tony Mosley and Damon Dixon. Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate it.
My man, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right, and Scott, we'll see you guys later. We'll see you later too. We're gonna be we have a little
Enjoy
bit.
That.
We are.
Hey, I bring the party.
I drink of the roses.
This honestly was not a plan. I thought it was just give you guys a thank you and enjoy. So thank you for the plugs. It's awesome to have. We're trying to get things going, and it's like every bit helps, and we do. I appreciate it for sure, and it's such a tight community, and everyone is so connected because of Prince. It's every bit helps, and we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll take over a bit of the market. We don't know, but it's a battle, and
you share. I'm trying to see if I can find the let me see if I pulled it up here. You had sent me some little clips, I guess.
Thank you, Pamela.
I'm trying to find.
I don't know. I don't think I have my screen up to say thanks to people directly.
Yeah, that was Pamela Weiss. Yeah, thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott McCullough. Love your footage from the Special Olympics show. For those who cannot actually, on the app.
Yeah, for those that don't, I'm gonna see if I can share the screen to kind of show you a little bit of some of the things that they're doing. Let me pull up this window. There it is, right there. Look at this. Look at all the awards that Rosa Vodka has won here.
Right.
This is like ridiculous. It's still showing just this. Yeah, it is. Okay, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going on, but I mean, just silly. The amount of, I mean, I have to pull it up so I can look at it on another screen here so I can read it more legible. But I mean, just in 2023, Platinum Medal Award, double gold medal award, top shelf featured vodka of the show at San Francisco World Spirit Competition. I mean, so many awards that this vodka has won, and rightfully so, because it has been
It's really good.
yeah, it's
Well, thank you.
like it's
Well, we worked hard on it. We think the roses are distilled separately, and they don't have the herbicides or pesticides. We distill in Oregon for the water, Cascade Mountain spring water. We have proprietary filtration, and it's corn-based vodka. So the corn is a little sweeter, and with the right magic touch, we've beaten out Belvedere, Chopin, Kettle One, and 370 other brands head-to-head blind tastings. So we just got to get people to taste it, and that's the hard part when you're dealing with so much brand loyalty, and that's, it's a battle, but it's like, as long as we enjoy the ride, that's important. I mean, that's important for everyone, and not to take it so seriously, but it's also we feel like we got something that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's so smooth. It's unbelievable.
You are
Thank you.
drinking of the plant. You are drinking of the rose. The rose.
It's amazing.
It's working.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely I've managed to kind of keep my wits about me a little bit, but I'm still on.
I got time for another one for me, I guess.
Yeah, I just poured another one. So
There you go. Right.
Scott,
we
thank
can
you.
end the show. I'll keep going.
Hey, there you go. Right.
We got to say sorry.
One more time.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I was going to ask you, how are you drinking it? Is just straight neat without any ice cubes?
The first one I did a half a glass straight, just to kind of see if it was bitter or if it had any burn to it, and it was smooth. It was just, I could tell it was vodka, but it was just smooth. It didn't have a bite. It didn't burn, which is the things I don't like about vodkas. Like sometimes some of the harsher vodkas they burn your throat. It's not like that at all. And then what I've been doing is I just had I added cranberry, because I love what used to be called mattresses.
Yeah.
They used to be called mattresses, which is orange juice, cranberry juice.
Wait, did you say mattresses?
Madras.
No, okay.
Madras.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to be sure.
MADRAS is what.
Right.
Now they're called Sex on.
He's had a few.
Yeah.
He's a lightweight. Remember.
Sorry, you've set yourself up for that. I'm sorry.
They used to be called Madras. MADRAS is what they used to be called, but now they're called, I guess they were renamed Sex on the Beach because Madras wasn't cool enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a bartender back in the early 90s, and that's what they were called, was Madras. And
That's right.
the plural of that is mattresses. But now they're called Sex on the Beach because that's a much cooler name, I guess. But anyways, it was just cranberry juice and vodka, and it's such a.
Do you like lychees? Do you like the Asian fruit lychee? LYCHEE.
I have had it in like those frozen smoothie type drinks or whatever they are.
Okay.
I've had, so I like the flavor, but I don't know that I have. I don't know that I've had
Well, I'll answer Jennifer's question here. What my go-to is Rosa vodka with lychee Soho liqueur. It's a lychee liqueur. One part of that and 3 parts of Rosa and a little bit of lychee fruit, which comes in a can. You can get it. Most places have lychee fruit that's already peeled, and it is in 3 different restaurants is one of the top selling martinis. And you shake that up, and it is very smooth, but it's also very powerful. So you don't need much. It's a great after work. That's it. But it's like it's one of my go-tos. But if we don't have that, because the lychee, the little bit of lychee juice that you put into it really helps kind of build. It's sort of a magic sort of drink. Then if we don't do that, it's literally I'm just drinking on the rocks with whatever fruit turns your crank. You know, I have a lime and I have an orange, peaches, or even a pear, sliced pear, you know, cucumbers. We're discovering so many little things that are just unique and different. I'm a vodka drinker, always been. I haven't liked the hard, dark stuff, but vodka has been sort of my go-to. And I was kind of bored with the whole vodka soda thing.
Yeah.
How do we mix it up? So we just started thinking about it, and it's like, okay, well, I think we can do something here. And we're discovering that, you know, just the little things you can do. Vodka soda, lemon and lime. That's another very simple, but it's not your normal thing.
Okay.
And it's ultra premium, so the vodka is good to start with. So you can use it in a dirty martini. You can use it in a straight martini. You can use it in. It cuts the Cosmo. The Cosmo will have like a little bit of a sourness. This cuts it, so it makes it a different type of thing. And the bartenders love it because you're not offending them, and we want to be sure we respect the vodka connoisseur, because I don't want to suffer through my drinks anymore. I'm at the age and I deserve to just not have a headache. So I just want to have a good vodka drink, and that's it. And not you know, do what I used to do. You know,
Right. I used to do, right.
Well, I'm typically a Scotch drinker, and but when I want to switch, it used to be gin, and lately it's been vodka. And I will say, I'm not to call out another brand, but a lot of times now it's been Tito's. This is really smooth, and if I can find it, you know, in restaurants or whatever, I think I would request this over anything else right now.
Awesome. Thank you for saying that. Adora, just a quick note on Dora's note. Yes, there's some recipes on the site, but you can just email us on the website. I'll send you whatever you need if you're looking for something simple, easy, no problem.
Awesome.
Scott,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just say it's been awesome having you on here, and I hope people are going to Rosa Vodka to get some of this, because it is just a fantastic drink.
It really is.
Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. It's an honor to be invited to these things. Now I'm a veteran. I've done 2 of them, so hopefully there's more. and I will look into getting to the celebration. I think I've been told that I might be able to get to go, be part of it more than just watching it at the celebration. But I will definitely look into my schedule. There's a lot going on. I got a few movies that are pending, and you know, with the strike going on, I need to be there, right?
Right.
Are you guys going?
No.
See how that works.
Well, see, here's the thing.
So easy to get on my case.
No, I wasn't going to get on your. Well, I didn't film any of it. So, but if I did, if I had been intimately involved with it, I absolutely probably would be there.
I would like an invite. You know, I'd like to be. You know, not that it's just I would like to be like. It's weird because I feel like I've been on the outside of this whole thing, and I would love to be involved more. But it's like Damon said, you know, sometimes it's sort of like, hey, are you a part of it or you're not? It's like I feel like I might be inviting myself to something and pushing myself into something that might not be my place to do so. So I just want to be respectful of that with the estate and what's happening with Sony and Warner Brothers. There's a whole mechanism going on. So, you know, it'd be great to be there. It'd also be great to know that I'm a little bit more into it, involved with it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where my stance is too. I mean, obviously, I wasn't involved in recording it. I didn't perform in the band. I didn't film any of it or any of that. I was just a listener back then.
Right.
But I kind of feel like the amount of promotion that we do, we should probably get invited, I would think.
Yeah, right.
But the reality of it is that, and I've said it on the show many times before, is that we've never received anything from the estate. We've never been invited. We've never been invited to the celebrations. We've never been invited to participate in panels. We've never been sent stickers. We've never been sent, previews of things. I mean, nothing. So
that's kind of that's I understand. Yeah,
it's like a little bit of a disconnect. It's kind of like, we're going to support you. Celebration will be there. I've been there many, many times.
Right.
But I just kind of feel like, for something like this, I appreciate it, but I'm also hearing lots of stories that there are lots of people that I feel like should have been included. You absolutely positively should have been included or invited to come out for sure.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
The fact that there is a large portion of this that you are responsible for. And I think that's it's crazy to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like I think there was the first answering Jennifer's or not answering, but commenting on Jennifer's note on the chat right now. I was invited to, I think, the 2019 one, and I think Kirk was a part of that. And it was months ahead of time, and then I was like, it's getting close to the time, and things were coming up that I had to either pass on or say yes to. And I called Kirk and I said, what's going on? Well, we filled the spot. And I'm like, okay, well, the echelon or where you sit amongst who's there now is different from who created it. So right now it's more of a, it's a different motivation. So, maybe that'll change. I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud to talk to fans about it. I'd love to write a book about it, what I could write about it. I've done, first thing I did when I got to Paisley was my NDA, right? So you can't talk about even what Prince chews gum or what happens. But, it's when it gets released, it's like now it's public domain. People see it, people know about it. And I'm sure people would like to, talk about it. And I think that, what you guys are doing, I commend you for, because it's about the fans. It's about the love of his music and the people around it. Like the guys we had on tonight, Robia, Tony, Damon, that's just there's like every era that Prince does. There's a whole new group of people, and they all have, it changed their life. It changed my life. And so now I'm just thrilled to be, have it come out again. I mean, it was like a surprise. I when I saw the footage, I said, you should do this. And I'm glad somebody took the advice, because there's more, there's more. And I think we could do more, but you kind of want to be invited to the party,
Yeah, and I think that's kind of our stance, is that, we probably would go, but it just hasn't panned out that way. So we realize that I also realize there's a lot of things going on now that we're just not privy to. And I kind of always been in that mindset of, things are just really convoluted right now. There are really kind of a lot of cooks in the kitchen. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of vitriol, a lot of arguing, a lot of fussing, a lot of who's doing what. And it's just, and that's all fine, because not really, it's outside of my pay grade. I'm just concerned about the music. We just want the music. We just want to enjoy it. We just want to absorb it. We want it to be released. We want to hear it. We want to see it. In your case, those are the things that we want. So, as long as those things keep happening, I just steer clear of it. I know a lot of people. It just is what it is.
Well, and I've been very vocal about, whatever I can do to help the estate, or press, or getting out there. I'm glad to do it. Love to do it. It helps me, of course. I loved working with him, and we had such a great moment I'm still surprised that I got the chance to do it. But I kept my nose out of that politics, out of the muck of territorialism that happened within while we were shooting, and I just sort of said, okay, I just don't want to engage in this negativity of whoever's insecure. But you do your job, and that's kind of
Right.
how I am right now. It's like it was a great proving ground for me to just say, look, like I think I said on our last one, is like never assume anything, is what Prince said to me, and I kind of hold ground to that. So we can't assume what's going on with a big company like Sony or Warner Brothers or Paisley.
Can't. Yeah.
So many layers and
Moving parts.
I'm thrilled that this is getting out, and that's if I can be a part of it, great. If I can make it, great. Maybe the next one, because there's more. Maybe that I'll be lucky to have more.
I'll put it this way. Let me just put it this way. You did a brilliant job with what you had, and you worked as perfectly as you could have. And the bottom line is, unsung heroes are always unsung heroes. You know what I mean? Like you did what you had to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll respect it or pull you in and do whatever they have to do. But everybody knows, and we'll always promote the people behind the scenes. And you did your thing. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Thing, not thing.
Thank you.
You did your thing.
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hopefully when the box set comes out, people will be able to see that you were the one behind it and that your name is all over it, and you'll get your flowers at that point in time. So I'm just hoping that's going to be the way that it runs.
That's it. Yeah.
We're very excited about it, though.
Thank you.
I am so glad that you had an opportunity to come on the show. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing all your diamonds and pearls stories. And it was so awesome to have all of you just sharing stories. It really just made the night go fantastically well.
Thank you.
Way more smoother than I had thought it envisioned. I was just like, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to tie all these folks together, but myself, so it's perfect.
We're all connected. So thank you so much. I am thrilled to share what I can and what I remember. I'm sure there's more, but anytime, just reach out.
All right, thank you so much, Scott, and we will obviously continue purchasing rosavodka.com. I've saw there's already been like 3 sales already, so that's great. We'll
yeah, thank you everyone that's reached out, and I don't have my chat up, so I can't thank them personally, but I'm sure when we get the emails, we'll send a note. So thank you.
And if you get the urge to send another bottle out, I'm just saying.
See, the first one's always free though.
Right? That's okay.
That's how we get you.
I will pay for that. That's
no, I'm
I just gotta get another hit, man.
All right.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you.